Dr. Velasquez with us from the doctor's been making his way around town, helping everybody increase their neuro performance. First off, doctor, can you tell us what your official label is?
Yeah, so really officially it's called Sports Neurocognitive Efficiency Coach, but since we niched it down in our passion, what we have, Combat Sports Brain Performance Coach. So it's about increasing cognitive efficiency, brain processing speed, reaction times, precision, accuracy, hand-eye coordination, and neurovision to help that combat sport elite athlete get a competitive advantage in what they do.
And what was your profession that led you into more of the sports science?
I think it was, obviously the 10 years of academic work and getting that doctorate degree. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a scientist doctor. So my background, my dad was a boxer, professional boxer here in Mexico, and I boxed and I wrestled, and I boxed in the Marine Corps boxing team as well. So the love of the sport, integrating academic passion and sport. We love combat sports, and so here we are.
As you tell me, this is something new that you're kind of bringing to combat sports, but not to mainstream sports. There's some big stars that have already started taking in neuro training.
Yeah, absolutely. We got several elite level athletes that are really challenging themselves and increasing their cognitive performance for their sport. One was Austin Trout. Matter of fact, he was one of the first ones that called me up and wanted to work, for his brain performance for a world-class boxing championship match he was having. So from then on, it led to one thing led to another. With guys like Tim Means, Dirty Bird, hell of a fighter, UFC, very seasoned veteran. Bullet, Dano, Combate Americas too. And we're working with several other fighters out there, female and male fighters, on brain performance.
And how do you feel the work has been with helping? What do you feel has it accomplished?
Yeah, so one of the ways that we make sure that we're making progress is that we're beyond the subjectiveness, beyond the rhetoric, beyond the guessing work. We're now in an era where that we can really assess, measure, quantify, and train the brain to optimize human performance inside that cage, inside that boxing ring, and by way of showing metrics. Are we improving? Are we not improving? Where's the target challenges that we need to work on? So it's really objective, and it's really about the metrics. When we talk about the mental game, we all know, and for years athletes know that the mental game is very important. So how do you measure, how do you quantify that mental game? So we bring that into metrics, and we show the athlete we can gauge your mental game, and this is the way that it's done in the neuroscience field, or the sports neuroscience field, to assess and measure what your brain capability is to your sport. Came back to you, sir.
We're in combat sports. It's mere seconds, milliseconds, and inches that really matter. What does it do, and how are you helping the fighters progress in those areas?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's various issues here that when you're dealing with milliseconds, because as well as you just said, Mike, a fraction of a second changes everything in combat sports, inside the cage or in that boxing ring. So what we do is we make sure that we increase that brain processing speed. Nothing happens outwardly without the brain processing it first. So if we increase the brain processing speed by using some of the most advanced neuroscience technologies and softwares that are out there right now, which we have, we're able to increase that brain processing speed, increase those neurological firings, that circuitry, and snag the brain. That's an industry's term that we use to stimulate neuronal activation and growth. The second thing is not only the brain processing speed, but the hierarchy that goes on with the motor cortex. We use neuroprimers to put the brain on hyperplasticity mode to make it quicker and react quicker on motor functions. So not only are you visualizing and stimulating the visual cortex with incoming information, which, by the way, the brain takes in about, the eyes bring in about 109 gigabytes of information per second into the brain. So the brain is very selective on what it does. So we speed up that whole process, that brain processing speed, the way it handles it in the motor cortex, to execute within milliseconds.
There you go, like a taunt.
Beautiful.
And then there's recognition, like for a fighter specifically, to recognize an opportunity to think clearer, kind of, right?
Exactly. The cognitive efficiency portion of that allows the fighter to process information, process it quickly, process it effectively, so there's not overthinking, there's not freezing and freezing points where the fraction of a second just makes a whole world of difference. So you don't really want the prefrontal cortex of the brain to be too active in a match, in a competition, because you don't want that to be overthinking. You want more of the temporal areas, the anterior cingulate cortex, to be firing up on the reward and the goal-oriented behavior for that fight inside the cage. And we gauge all that through the performance and methods and practices that we have. Yeah.
Breathing out on breathing the cage. There you go, perfect.
And then on the athlete side, it looks like they enjoy the training. There almost brings a fun element to it because the software almost has a video game likeness where they're able to move up levels.
Absolutely, and that's what keeps it really engaging. It's about engaging, and it's about creating a little bit of challenging situations. The brain likes novelty. Anything that you do that's got novelty in it, that's you're learning, is grasped by the brain a little bit better, and we use obviously the brain's natural process of neuroplasticity, in that the brain grows through every experience that we have. So we stimulate that experience in very unique ways for that fighter.
20 seconds. 15 seconds.
We saw a lot of exercise done on the monitor behind you. We also saw some done with the pads and the lights and a little more free movement. Are they all still based off of the same software, same concept?
It's the same concept. I mean, we've been able to build a really rigorous and robust brain performance program for the combat sport athlete. Obviously, the technology that we use, they're all different. We didn't invent it. This is state-of-the-art technology that is out there in today's market. It's very advanced technology. We've been able to integrate this technology along with very specific neurocognitive drills to build a robust and rigorous program for the athlete.
All right, 30 seconds. Your color is blue. Distracting pod color is light blue.
And just overall, how successful do you feel the training has been with the athletes?
I mean, overall, we've got a lot of good comments by the athletes. Not only do they feel it, but most importantly, from our perspective, we're able to show metrics that we're improving. Okay, and that's where it counts right there.
And then your passion also has to be commended because, let everybody know, the doctor drives up on the weekends to work with the athletes from El Paso every weekend. So this is a passion for you too, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you can't do work if you don't, number one, enjoy it, have a passion for it, and want to bring value to that combat sport athlete, And we obviously want women fighters as well as male fighters because we want to rise up along with the athlete and bring more cognitive. We're in an era that we can increase that sports neuroscience world into the combat sports, and that's what our niche is, and that's what our passion will continue to be.
Dude, that kid across the street was asking like 4 times.
Nice. Here we go.
how much do you feel, just from the fan side of it, this could be that little edge that every fighter is always looking for, that little extra?
Absolutely, and I'm glad you brought that up, Micah, because when you talk about a competitive advantage, you talk about people somehow, some way, whatever forms, get EPO'd and get tested by USADA and WADA and whatnot. This right here, you're using your own brain. The language of the brain is electrochemical energy patterns. The more you train your brain in specific ways, it makes the right chemicals for you naturally. So with our programs, not only do you get better cognitively, chemically, your brain makes it automatically. You don't test positive for nothing. It's your own brain that does it for you, and you don't need any type of drug to be enhanced.